fit in with them. But because God does, when do you bring them into your world? When do you expose them to the thing? And he said, you want to go, we can go, but what are you going to do to kind of, you know what I mean, to kind of balance that out, to be consistent? And myself, I was like, well, last year I took them to church, but I was like, exactly, that was last year. Do you know what I mean?
Done this year.
This year, when we're 6 months into it. And that really exposed to me that I still feel very challenged in witnessing, and not just preaching to people, but even just being able to bring it into a conversation. I speak with, because I know I've got friends that can do it so easily. I don't know if you know Siobhan Mahoney, she sings, she goes to my Lane Church. That girl, she actually taught me so much about being a witness for Christ. She could be in the news agents and she would be like, come up to that, oh, thank you so much, you're lovely. You know, she's so over bubbly, and then she goes, you know, I'm on my way to church. Do you know about, the way she drops it, it's so slick, it's so genuine, it's so friendly. It just, I was like, I just desired to have that, and so, I don't know. All these things can contribute to your success and being a witness for Christ and being a kingdom princess. Watch what you listen to, your movie, how time you spend with God, how you treat your parents, how you know, how you're using your time on this earth. It's a process. Tabby's spinning. Okay. So as a woman thinketh, so is she. So your environment, what you saturate yourself with, affects your mind, which affects what you think, and your feelings as well. And off the next one. It affects your perspective on life and your motivation, what you want to do with your life. And that directly has an effect on words and your action, how you speak. Because if you notice, if you hear someone cuss and continue, you're more likely to, you know, come out with it, because that's what you've been saturating your mind with. So you have to make sure you don't listen to all that nonsense. It affects life events. So you come up to a scenario and someone steps on your foot, and because you've been listening to people swear all the time, but yeah, it's all feeding in, Life events, and life events, you consistently do it, consistently giving into that, it becomes a habit. Do you know they say it takes 21 days to make or break a habit? Ever heard of that? Yeah. So even if you know,
How many days? 21.
I think it's a sufficient number of time. I think it works. It's a guide. Maybe
3 weeks.
3 weeks to make or break a habit.
That's good.
And then habits becomes lifestyles. So Tabby didn't start off living a double life. She started off by not controlling her environment. She wasn't watching how her mind was being subjected to it. She wasn't dealing with her feelings that came from her day that she spent saturated in stuff that's ungodly. She had her own perspective on life. She was like, well, I'm a rude girl because I've been listening to music and, you know, I think I am. It affects the way she speaks and the way she behaves. And in different scenarios, and when she lives her life, she lives it consistent with what she's been hearing, becomes a habit and becomes a lifestyle. It can be a negative flow or a positive flow. Talking about being a kingdom princess, if you control what you listen to, if you monitor what you're watching, who you're talking to, I'm telling you, it's going to lead to a successful life as a kingdom princess. And we talk about the benefits of being a kingdom princess. Someone shout the benefits of being a kingdom princess.
The benefits of being a kingdom princess.
And what are they? I know. What are the benefits? Shout it out. That's okay. Shout out the answers. What are the benefits? What rewards? Be specific about it.
Eternal life.
Yeah.
Blessing.
That's something for us to enjoy down here, right? What else? Favor. We talked about. Anyone got anything else?
Mercy.
Mercy, exactly. Those who show mercy will obtain mercy, isn't it? Anything else in SaJa? Comfort, protection. Amen. My goodness, has anyone heard of the Scunthorpe shooter?
The who?
Scunthorpe. Was it Cumbria? Was it Cumbria? And I'm telling you, these people were innocent and got shut down, going about their daily life. Being a kingdom princess,
protection.
Covering and protection. And if anyone's feeling scared, I want to lead you to Psalms 91. I remember Sister Sandra preached on the different levels of protection we had. It's actually really hard for the enemy to get through to us. And if he does attack us, it's because God has allowed him to, and he always has given us a victory. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, there's benefits. I love this picture. It's cute.
Oh, they're trying to be white.
Yeah. It's cute. Be yourself.
That's right.
We're moving to the next part. The next part of character is the outward presentation. the things that people can hear from you, coming from you, people can look and see you doing, the things that you just generally behave. Because someone read it for me, just shout it out, read it out loud.
God is checking for your hair, nails, be yourself and love yourself. Your character is on the inside, the words come out first. Your words and your actions display your character. So if you have a good character, equals good words plus good action.
So if we're talking about having the character of Christ, we have to have the words of Christ and the actions of Christ. Today I want to home in on the words and what comes out of your mouth. That is the representation of who you are inside. We talked about the spiral flow, and it's hard to think one thing and to talk something different. It's actually very difficult to do that. Be yourself. The first part was just about being yourself, not trying to be white, but to be happy with who you are and your yeah, I really like the picture though. Gossiping.
Gossiping.
Let's start gossiping first. I'll read it. If you can't read it, she's saying she thinks she's so cute. That's probably a weave. And she's saying those shoes do not go with that outfit. Did you make that?
Wait,
No.
the thing is that, you know the gossiping thing?
Yeah.
I think this is something we should talk to the boys too as well.
I'm dealing with you guys first.
Sit nicely.
We'll leave them to life builders. I'm dealing with you girls. And as kingdom princesses, we have to make sure that we are exemplifying what we're preaching about. We're living what we preach. You guys, as coming from Lee Church, you have to be, I'm not saying everybody's be best friends. It doesn't happen like that. Sometimes there's personality clashes or whatever. But we have to have this thing of a family where you look out for one another. Oh, at the end, she's saying, if you're trying to say, then just say it. What does she have on and why did you invite her? Okay.
What does she have on? What's she wearing? What's she wearing? What's she here?
Her shirt is a bit low, but it's a bit mean.
That's rude.
And it's just costing someone on the phone.
Rude to whisper.
I thought she got...
I want to home in the gossiping thing first. We have to protect one another, and this is the perfect platform for me to speak about this. Words do hurt. You know, you hear like sticks of stone may break my bones, but words that's so wrong. It does.
Why do people say it?
Because it makes maybe it sounds good to say, because it makes you more resilient. But we're people, we're flesh and blood. If you come to me, I bleed, you know?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, no. You say that?
Oh, no.
Okay. Gossiping, it's hurtful. And it's something that we do without even thinking about it sometimes. And as girls, I really believe in Lee Church, we need to start protecting one another. You don't have to be special in that aspect. I know we have cliques still, and that will continue to exist because that's just people flocking to people that have the same interests. I don't think there's anything wrong in that. But when it comes to the point where it's like a destructive divide, and you won't sit with somebody because they're from that friendship group, that's when it becomes a problem. You know? And we have to protect each other, whether in your friendship group, direct friendship group or not. If you hear someone talking about someone, you have the responsibility as a kingdom princess to say, you know what, can we stop talking, can we change the subject please, or can we not talk about her please? What they're saying may be true, as often it is sometimes, but we know it's hurtful to that person, and how would you like someone being that way to you when you love someone to stick up for you? And in this church, there shouldn't be like that anyway. If someone falls down, why is publicising it going to help them get back up? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And you know what? And I know, to be honest, a lot of you guys complain to me about the older people saying stuff like, oh, something's going on between you and this boy, there's nothing going on, and they're spreading that and making you feel uncomfortable. Don't worry about that, because the truth speaks for itself. But you have to show them how to behave and show them that you're not going to. You should demonstrate that behaviour either. You know, if something's going on that you know about it. Unless, you know, someone's in danger, keep it to yourself. Or tell God about it, do you know what I mean? And pray for that person. Do something useful with that information.